students, welcome to virtual class of Municipal Corporation of Greater Mumbai Education Department. I am Mrs. Akshata Kale and today we will learn English. Come on students, let us begin our lesson. Let us learn English of Standard 6 and name of the lesson is At the Science Fair. Dear children, today we are going to visit the science fair at Vidyavardhini School. Here, let us learn how to plan the science fair, how to arrange and how to conduct it successfully. Okay, we will also learn about the graphic presentation and how to do the oral presentations, and also we will go through the scientific method. Okay, by using scientific method, how to get the answers for the questions that arise in our mind. Are you ready to move to the science fair? Come on, let us move. The science fair at Vidyavardhini School was always an exciting affair. It is an educational activity, not just for the children but also for the family and the entire community. There were two basic rules. They were fixed. First one, everything should be handled by the students. Second, everything, even the entertainment booths and the refreshment stalls had to have a scientific base. Preparations for the fair began at least a couple of months in advance. We will go through each step. A committee of parents and teachers was set up to look after all the work of the fair. Some student representatives were also taken on the committee. Here you can see the committee of the science fair. Here we can see the parents, the teachers and some student representatives. Isn't it? The committee identified certain themes for the fair. Here they decide certain themes for the science fair. They are plants, animals, food and nutrition, energy, means here we can see here forms of energy and energy resources, properties of substances, latest news from the world of science, science in our everyday life. These are the different themes. Under these themes, the science fair will be conducted. Okay? Considering the area of the school playground and the estimated turnout, it was decided to allow 56 stalls in the fair. The stalls were allotted to as many groups of children. Each group selected a topic from the chosen themes. The committee had to make sure that the topics were not repeated. This is the responsibility of the committee. The young scientists began their work in earnest. They started for their preparations. They began by collecting a lot of information about their topic using their science textbooks, their school library and also the internet. They shared and discussed this information in their groups. The next step was to decide the exact activity for their stall, whether they would build and display a model or give a demonstration or present their project through posters or simply exhibit a collection. The principal announced that the language, appearance and content of the presentations were all important. The language teachers helped the young stallholders to make their graphic and oral presentations more effective. Okay, now we will go through some graphic presentations and after that we will move to oral presentations. Graphic presentations. First here, write to the point so that a visitor may read a chart or poster at a glance. Here you can see the example. Okay. Make use of bullet points or bulleted list. Means important points you have to highlight. Use pictures and diagrams and label them. You got the meaning of this? You have to use the pictures and diagrams and you have to label them. Use pictograms, graphs, pie charts, etc. to show numerical data. Plan all your posters, charts properly before you start making them. You have to plan before. Make a rough mini copy before you begin work on the big final posters or chart. Yes, means you have to make a rough copy before the final poster or final chart. Don't forget to check your spellings, sentences or other errors in the mini copy itself. Yes, you have to remember that you have to check the spellings or sentences and there should not be any errors. Use different colors to highlight important features but use them judiciously. If you have used any text, picture, diagrams, etc. from elsewhere, acknowledge the source. Means you have to mention from where you got these information. The name of the book or name of the author, all that you have to mention below that chart. Okay. The language teacher, they help the students to make this graphic presentation. Now dear children, we will move to the oral presentation. Means on that day, on the day of science fair, the children, they stand near their project. They present their project and they present their project orally. How should be this oral presentations? We will go through. What the teacher said on this, we will go through. See here, we can see the picture of oral presentation. These children, you can see here, these children, they are explaining about their project. Got this? How should be the oral presentations? We will see. First, the oral presentations or speeches should be short and to the point. Means 2 to 3 minutes at the most. In short, they have to explain, okay, the important, what is there in the important rule or on what rule it works, that they have to mention. They should be directly related to the model, demonstrations or specimens exhibited in the stall. Be confident when you make a presentation. The boy or a girl who is presenting should be confident. Rehearse the speech well. You have to rehearse the speech, whatever you are going to present, that you have to rehearse in advance. Be ready to answer relevant questions. Practice doing that with your friends. Yes, the visitor may ask any questions related to that project. Be ready with the answer. Make use of the visuals or graphics in the stall. Point to the relevant parts when you speak. Yes, while representing, you can point the different parts here. You can tell about each and everything one by one. Okay, but in short. Wear clean and tidy clothes, but do not dress up to show off. Okay? Yes, you have to wear clean and tidy clothes. Next is be polite, be pleasant when you talk to the visitors. If you don't know the answer to a question, say so. But later on, try to find the answer. Here you can see she is asking some question on the project. This girl don't know, then she says sorry. Okay, but don't remain like that, but later on try to find the answer. Okay, smile. This is very important. Okay, this increases your value. This is about the oral presentation, that is how you must be at the science fair day. Got this? Now here, at last the big day arrived, that is the science fair day. Now here the children are ready with their projects, because today is the science fair day. Yes, the fair was inaugurated by the oldest science teacher, Mr. Gizare. You can see here Mr. Gizare, isn't it? He was happy to see the stalls, especially the ones that showed simple methods of identifying food adulteration. He appreciated the fact that in most of the stalls, visitors could also try out the various science experiments and models. He gave a special pat on the back to the clean brigade. The brigade members made rounds of the fair, spreading the message of cleanliness. But that was not at all. They had vowed to keep the school premises spick and span during the fair. They were well equipped with garbage cans, scoops, brooms, and wipes. Let us also take a round of the fair to see some of the highlights. Okay, come on children, let us visit the different stalls. Use of kinetic energy. Okay, see this. The stall displayed the model of a water mill. Can you see this? Use of potential energy. A plastic bottle motor boat. Can you see there? Next is sound. Everyone enjoyed making simple string telephones at this stall and then using them. Here the visitors can use this. Electrostatic energy. This stall was so popular that additional help was needed to blow balloons as quickly as they were used up. Food adulteration. Even the parents learned something at this stall. Fun with magnets. Visitors queued up to see the different types of magnets at work. Some of the visitors made video clips of presentation at this stall. It consisted of different children playing the roles of different machines, all crying out turn by turn, "Hey, we too need your attention. We can serve you well only if you take care of us." The fair was such a huge success that the school had to run it for 3 days instead of 2. The principal allowed this change in the timetable only because it was a truly educational activity, not just for the children but also for their family and the entire community. No wonder everyone is already looking forward to the next year's fair. Mr. Gizare explained the importance of using the scientific method to find the answers to the questions relating to the physical world around us. Yes, dear children, we will go through the scientific method. Now see here, what is the meaning of scientific method and what is the use of scientific method? Yes, dear children, scientific method helps us to get the answers to the questions which arise in our mind by observing the day-to-day life or by observing the physical world. Okay, we will go through this. First, observe what is around you. Yes, you have to observe keenly what all is around you. We can see different machines, we can see different objects, we can see different animals with different habitats, isn't it? We can see different plants. Yes, dear children, so many questions arise in our mind and we want the answers for these types of questions. If you develop the scientific method of finding out the answers for these types of questions, it will become easy to get the answer. Okay? Now first one is to observe what is around you. Okay? Now next, ask questions. Why? Why not? How? Etc. You have to ask the questions about whatever you observed in the nature. Why it is like this? Why not like that? How it became like this? Etc. For example, we will take, why does the fridge magnet stick to the fridge door but not to the kitchen platform? This is our question. Okay? Oh, why it is sticking only to the fridge door, not to the cupboard that is made up of wood. Okay? Next, can you think of an explanation? This is what is called hypothesis in scientific method. Yes, you have to. Can you think of an explanation about this? Yes, why it is so? Why it is sticking to the fridge door, not to the platform of the kitchen? Yes, can you think of any explanation for this? Maybe it has some special powers, isn't it? Okay, now what to do now? Set up an experiment to try out your hypothesis. You thought that fridge magnet has some special powers. Okay, that is your hypothesis. Then set up an experiment to try your hypothesis. Means you have to try to stick it to different things. For example, to the walls, to tile, to some object that made from the wood. or okay, pots, pans, a plastic bottle, a cup, etc. You have to try for each object. Then you will get some answers, correct? That you have to record, means here record your observations in detail. This is your data, means whatever you did, that you have to record. The magnet sticks to some surfaces but not to others. This is your observation that you have to record in your notebook. After that, here you have to draw the conclusions. Do they match your hypothesis? If yes, why? If not, why not? That you have to think. Here about the magnet, it seems as if some metal objects are attracted to the magnet. They are made of iron or steel. This conclusion is written. Last, here, write down your findings and share them with others. Okay, whatever you got the answer, that you have to write down and you have to share them with the others. Here, what is the conclusion? Magnet attracts iron, but not all substances, not even all metals. Got this? This is nothing but a scientific method. Okay? By using this, we will get the answers for the questions that arise in our mind when we go through some new objects, isn't it? Or when we go through some new projects. Now, dear children, here is one activity for you. First, choose a question through your own observation. Try to follow the scientific method to find the answer to that question. You can choose any question that comes in your mind, that you observe in your day-to-day life. Why the water flows downwards? Why it not flows upwards? Yes? Why the birds migrate from one place to another? Etc. You can take any question that comes to your mind and you have to use the scientific method to find out the answer for that question. I am sure you will get the proper answer by the scientific method. Okay, that you have to follow all the steps just we studied in scientific method. Yes, got? Here one question is there. Keep a few aluminium rods in the sun. Cover them with small bits of clothes of different color. See which absorbs heat the most. Find the reasons. Yes, dear children, this you can do. In the sun, you have to keep some aluminium rods that we get in our house. And you have to cover these aluminium rods with the small bits of clothes of different color. One should be black, one of them should be red, one of them should be white, yellow, green, etc. Okay? And then afterwards, you have to decide that which cloth absorbs heat the most and which clothes absorbs the heat the less or the least. Got this? And why it became like this? Why all clothes do not absorb the heat equally? That you have to find out. Okay? And you have to make the conclusion and you have to write down that one in the notebook and you have to share that with your friends. You will enjoy this. Okay? Are you going to carry out this experiment? Very good. Okay? Bye bye children. Now this our clean brigade friend is telling us that keep your surroundings clean.
Thank you very much for being a part of this lesson. Please subscribe to our channel and press bell icon to get new updated videos.